Welcome back to Nets Republic. I'm your host, Sarah the Bond. You are here on Nets Republic. Please go to netsrepublic.com, hit the shop button, and get you some Nets Republic merch just in time for the good old holiday season, as every YouTuber says around this time of year. Or you can go to dopejerseys.com and get you some Nets Republic merch, whichever way you want to go about it. We are on the way to 1,000 subscribers, but we are dangerously close to 900 subscribers. So, if we could just get a couple more subs, I think we're like 20 something away. So just tell a Nets fan to subscribe to the channel. We are so close to 900 subscribers. I can smell it, but that is neither here nor there. Now, last night, the Brooklyn Nets whooped up on the Wizards. Yes, the Wizards is who we played last night. They just keep winning. The Nets just keep winning, and we're starting to get into territory that we haven't been in quite some time, to where they're winning so much, it almost makes me sound like a hater if I try to critique them at all, because we're winning so much. So this is another video where I just got to kind of skirt on by and keep my criticisms on the down low, because they just keep winning. And in the world of a dub is a dub is a dub. Now, I do not think that this was the type of victory to where we have to say it was a sloppy win or we barely escaped or anything like that. I thought it was a pretty good game where we were in control. I'm not really sure why the starters played so many minutes. Again, if Jacques Vaughn is trying to limit their minutes and get everyone rest, then what was the point of resting them the last game if we have literally 3 days off before our next game on Friday? But, I'm sure in some world this all makes sense, but sure, whatever keeps our starting lineup healthy is, cool. With no Royce O'Neal, because he's still gone for personal reasons. I have no idea what the personal reasons are. I'm not in the cool Nets crowd. They don't tell me anything. I have no idea what those personal reasons are, but Royce O'Neal was not out there. So we had Joe Harris out there. So this is kind of a throwback to... I saw some people say on Twitter that this was a throwback to the preseason. I can't really remember that far back to who was starting and who wasn't, but Joe Harris has been doing his thing lately. He's been making layups. He's been hitting his open shots. He's been playing defense. Everything you could ever ask from Joe Harris. Again, as long as he keeps this same energy in the postseason, I have no complaints. But for right now, shout out Joe Harris. Oh my God, it's Russell Crowe. Shout out Mr. Joe Harris. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are still in a video game simulation to where they're not playing on the same level as everyone else on Earth. They have ascended. They are ascended Saiyans. They are not human. They're on some 2010 Lil Wayne type stuff. They're not human beings. They have they're extraterrestrials, just kind of dribbling a ball among us mortals. Some of the stuff that Kyrie was doing, again, you got at least 2 instances per game where Kyrie's going to do something with the basketball to make you just lose faith in the world, because it's like, if he's that good at that one skill, what am I good at that's on par with that? Like, everyone says, oh, you got something, everyone's really good at one thing. I don't know if I'm good at any one thing like Kyrie is as good at basketball. So if you try to compare yourself to them, it's just Depression City, but that's not here nor there. Kyrie Irving is doing his thing on both sides of the ball, honestly, if we're being completely frank. I think, obviously, Kevin Durant is playing well. Anytime he goes back to DC, he puts on a show. And the Nets just keep winning. Claxton is playing out of his mind. His soft touch around the rim is getting iconic. I mean, this man can do no wrong. It's just the team is just playing so well. Watanabe is back. You feel me? On my wrist. You feel me? Homie's back. And he's playing great defense. He'll hit an open shot or two every now and again. But it's his defense that just has me just sold on, buddy. The team is playing so well right now. Ben Simmons, the way he scores, it would make it seem like he would be ending games averaging 15 points, but he only got 10 or something like that. But it felt like he scored more, which is which is crazy because I felt like there was like a stretch in the third or fourth quarter, where probably third, where he was just scoring at will. And they was feeding Buddy too, and he was just scoring at will. So it felt like he scored a little bit more than that, but, box score gonna box score. Everyone's playing well. There's nothing negative to cast, which is why I've decided that in this edition of the Nets Republic post-game video, if you will, I would get on here and introduce a new theory. I would introduce a new theory that is piggybacking off of a couple of previous points, and that's a situation of where we've come from and where we are currently. Everyone knows, it's no secret, that I am from the church of Blow It Up, and I am a representative of my Lord and Savior, James Harden. Now, this particular era of Nets basketball did not last very long, but we were unstoppable in about the 16 games that they played together. And I always have a warm spot in my heart for this period of time because the few times that they were out there together, they were truly unstoppable. And sometimes I wonder why we threw it all away. I'm also a huge fan of the nostalgia act of the Karis LeVert, D'Angelo Russell days. Not so much the D'Angelo Russell days because I wasn't here for that, but specifically the Karis LeVert, 7-Eleven, Jerry Allen days. Missing a bunch. I thought the potential was out of this world. But young seven man, the youngest of the seven men, the greatest there has ever been, actually has caught himself in a little bit of a conundrum. If you've been a long time watcher of me on the internet, I've been on YouTube like 10 years at this point. If you've been a long time watcher of me from channel to channel, then you know there's one thing I despise more than anything else when it comes to basketball. I hate potential. I despise it. I hate when people cling on to potential like that's supposed to mean something. Because we can play the potential game for anything, really. Hey, Kristaps Porzingis has potential to be Frank Ntilikina, he's got potential to be I've had enough. You'll have to excuse me covering New York sports. I've had enough. Jeremy Lin has potential to be I'm good. No, sorry, I'm good on potential. Never goes anywhere, and it's a little bit overrated, personally, the whole potential card. But I realize that 7-man hasn't been keeping the same energy because I've been running the potential card with our past. How many games did 7-Eleven really have with basically the D-Lo Nets? Not many. They were traded, what was it, like February or something like that? Like a little bit after, was it February or January? It was like in the beginning of the season in 2021. And we knew Harden was trying to get to Brooklyn like before the season even started. Like right after the Lakers won, the rumors started popping up that Harden wanted out and he wanted to come to either us or Philly. So really, what we're talking about here, and even if you look at the record of the team before we traded for Harden, team wasn't really doing that great. It was based on potential. And the game before we made the official trade, Karis had just then started playing well again. You feel me? Yo, that's potential. Let's look at the James Harden Nets. After you make that trade, due to an assortment of injuries, because this was when Kyrie was doing his disappearing act. I can't remember what the particular reason was. Was it his sister's birthday party or the Capitol riots? I can't remember which one it was. But when we got Harden, Kyrie wasn't even here. And I believe there's a statistic out there, and again, I'm not Captain Factual, so please go somewhere else for that. But I believe Harden, Kyrie, and Kevin Durant only played 16 games together. And I think that includes the playoffs. That's not even a sample size. You get more than that on the end of the toothpick at the mall. That's not even a sample size. We always harken back over to, oh, but that game against the Bulls, they were unstoppable. Sounds like potential to me. Where am I going with this? I don't know the exact number, but a good bit of this season, we've seen the Nets at full strength. We've seen what happens when you have Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, Joe Harris, Royce O'Neal at times, and Claxton, and basically that interchangeable, you feel me, cha-cha line of a starting lineup, where the 4 or the 3, all depending on where you put Kevin, is kind of interchangeable. We've seen the revolving door to where we're not having the same conversations that we've had in years past. Of, oh, when the Nets get healthy, you better watch out. But how's it going to work? We already know how it's going to work. They're doing it right now. This is a completely healthy Nets team that we are seeing firsthand. Yes, you put Ben Simmons out there at point or center, which is nuts that we have that type of versatility. Not ready to apologize yet, by the way, but we're close. At center or point, put Ben Simmons at one of those like ends, download Kyrie, and throw in a little Kevin Durant, and it's successful. And we know it based on the games they've actually played. This isn't potential. We assumed no one could stop us if Harden was out there and everyone else. We assumed that at some point the chemistry was going to get down and our combination of extremely, upstarty youth was going to be enough to aid 7-Eleven. We're not assuming anything anymore. The Nets are consistently out there just to boot every night, putting the beats on people with a fully healthy roster. Kevin Durant missed his first game on some load management. Ben Simmons really hasn't been out that much. And Kyrie, after the suspension, has played wonderfully. So, my love for the past, me holding on to the past, maybe it's time to let it go. You know what I mean? Maybe I gotta do what Elsa said. Why is there always something in my eye? I feel like every video, something falls in my eye, but that's not a hint of there. Give me 1 second. What is in my eye? Jesus. Ugh. I'm just going to keep going. We got to do what Elsa said. Well, I have to do what Elsa said. And I got to let it go. I really do. I think it's time I let go of the past. Now, does that mean I'm going to get rid of the Harden jersey? Absolutely not. What else would we talk about in the comments if this wasn't here? Am I going to get rid of the Karis LeVert? Absolutely not. This is the one Basquiat jersey that looks nice, because I don't mess with the white one, but that's something here there. But I think it's time for me to have a little bit more confidence in this team. I mean, they've earned it. They haven't lost a game since the Celtic game. And before that, wasn't it like a 6-game win streak or 5 or 4 or something like that? The Nets don't lose anymore. They're tap dancing their way over to the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. And this team has something the teams of the past never had. And that was always our Achilles heel. And that is chemistry. If the Nets have chemistry, that type of stuff is what other teams have had the upper hand on us. Playing against the Celtics, it was basically with a brand new team. Seth Curry had just kind of got there. Drummond had just kind of got there. Ben Simmons wasn't even there. We were playing with a new team. Before that, we were just relying on the ISO abilities of Kevin Durant and James Harden because Kyrie wasn't there. But it wasn't team ball. It's not like other people were getting involved like that. Joe Harris wasn't even there for the whole season. Year before that, I mean, we were just able to make it work based on just the star potential we had. But you saw what happened when we ran into a team that not only wasn't plagued with injuries, which I still believe Giannis purposefully injured Kyrie, but that's not here nor there. But they had chemistry on their side. They've had that group for a very long time. And right now, the Nets are going through the trenches with the same dudes. And I gotta say, even though I represent the Church of Blow It Up, maybe we should just see what happens. I know the trade deadline is coming up. People are kind of looking around the league. There's interest in Kuzma. There's interest in all these individuals. But what if we didn't do anything? What if we just kind of kept the team we have? I mean, again, I don't even know if the idea of us getting some dynamic center is going to really do anything. Because we got Claxton, who's playing really well. We got Daron Sharp, who's playing really well. Do we need another center? We got Ben Simmons. He's a center, I guess. Do we need a center? Do we need another point guard? Patty Mills comes in and plays well. Kyrie Irving plays well. Ben Simmons is also a point guard. Seth Curry can run the team. Royce O'Neal can run the team. Do we need more scoring? I mean, we got Morris, TJ Warren, Kyrie, Kevin Durant. Do we need more scoring? I mean, we got the defense. We got Watanabe. You feel me? We got Sumner. We got Duke Jr. Individuals who are known for their defense. The team is pretty good. Maybe we don't need to do anything. Maybe we just ride this out and see what happens. Again, I'm not ready to jump out the window and say I was wrong just yet, but they kind of just keep winning, and no one's really talking about it, and I don't know. Y'all. Let me know your thoughts down below. The Nets just keep winning, and a lot of my criticisms aren't aging the best. It's not aging the best. But speaking of age, might be time to let certain errors go, because this is based on potential. Today, that's just the eye test.